So I've been challenged by my team to do a Jacinta Ardern style video where I run through the last 120 days of Claire being in production and ultimately being in the marketplace for property management teams to be able to use her as a digital assistant to support their existing property management team. And so I'm going to do my best to put the last 120 days in front and all the training and development that's gone into Claire as a virtual assistant to property managers. So Claire was released, and the first run of Claire being released had 10 skills. She spoke on Google Home and Google Assistant, ultimately allowing tenants to look up and work with their tenancy, to look up details out of your trust accounting software, things like how much rent have I paid, how much bond did I pay, what's my move out date, those kind of things were released. We then released version 2, and version 2 included about 1,000 new training points that made her more accurate and understood more of the conversation that tenants would bring into. So a lot of learnings in there that we're able to then push into Claire's training. Maintenance 1 was brought out, which enabled tenants to talk about things like how do I get a tap fixed, or I've got a broken light, those kind of things, and then Claire would take those up and then escalate them to the property manager. That was version 1. We used it was being used as an after-hours concierge service. So property management teams in the pilot started releasing this concierge concept that enabled 24 hours a day, 7 days a week support of the tenancy without any need for property management interaction, so they could get their needs met when they wanted to get it met. Then we released the SMS comms capability. So that enabled Claire and her now 25 skills that we've launched in that same release to escalate to a property manager or initiate a move-out workflow, those kind of things. And so Claire could do that on SMS now. So have an SMS conversation on that concierge number, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, without any need for Google Assistant to be downloaded, which is a free download on their phone, or no need to have a Google Home. They could just use SMS. And then we had rental arrears artificial intelligence release. So this enabled Claire to go out and do an outbound conversation on SMS to chase rental arrears. And it's different from a notification because it's a conversation. So it has a lot better cut through in terms of what she can do. Off the back of that, we then launched the tip of the day, which is a continuous training at the end of a conversation that's had over Google Home, Google Assistant, and enables them to learn about what Claire's doing as Claire evolves. So as she gets smarter, she also trains the tenants to be smarter in how to use her as an assistant. The pilots came to an end at this point, and we had a number of pilots. We saw a 13% reduction in comms work for those property management teams off the back of Claire. We had an increase in management fees from 6% to 8% because they're able to demonstrate that they had a higher service offering. So this race to the bottom no longer became a concern. They could then expand their revenue off the back of that service they were offering to landlords in the tenancy. We had an increase in management sales conversion. So that's when you had a business development managers working and driving the work and the sales flow, and they had a 22% increase above what they normally would have because they're able to sit there in the office and demonstrate a virtual assistant to tenants that was an extra service, and they were able to convert more. From there, we had version 2.5 was released with 10 more skills, which really upped Claire's capability and really made it quite comprehensive. We had an onboarding portal version 2, which enabled our property management teams to really change the way in which Claire was operating, and more settings meant that more control over the way in which she was talking. We had maintenance after hours, allowing for immediate connection to emergency trades when Claire identifies it was necessary, and therefore they get their service after hours was taken care of. SMS version 2 with new training and escalation points, which really filled out some of the learnings in which Claire had and made sure that they were implemented correctly. Property Me Integration version 2, which enabled notes, tasks, and jobs to be added, and there are massive improvements in there with workflow automation. So that really meant there was no real disconnect between Claire, the conversational AI, and your trust accounting software and the way in which you have worked in there. Version 3 workflows came out, so that meant we had 30 plus skills. Move out workflows, check for my open home inspection, and emergency repair tuning happened in that release as well. Rental arrears version 2 with more training and better escalation. So that really made rental arrears very solid in the conversations I was having, really made it possible to have smart conversations around I can't pay, I need a payment plan, those kind of things, and then better escalation to the property manager off the back of that. Decrease in rental arrears by 30 to 50% off our pilot clients, regardless of demographic area, regardless of whether they had offshore staff running it or not. Further 40% workflows with things like free fire emergency and power outages. We had maintenance version 2, allowing for auto adding of jobs. So this auto adding of jobs and the details which were recorded, which improved tenant communications. That auto adding of jobs meant we could document what they wanted. We could understand it was a light bulb fix, an electrical issue. We could then add the job to the property management trust accounting software for it to be taken over, escalated, or get a quote. Multiple portfolio processing, which is really unique for the same agency within the same trust accounting software, really made it possible for complex implementations, big firms that had 3,000, 4,000 properties. Maintenance version 3 with auto assignment, where tenant requirements are approved and sent to the supplier automatically. This just automated the whole workflow from capturing what was going on, identifying it was maintenance, understanding the details of the job, assigning the job, sending it out to the supplier, connecting the supplier and the tenant, and making it really easy for that workflow to happen immediately with no human intervention whatsoever, relieving the property manager to have better conversations and take care of the escalations that happen at the other end. Job creation in property management software from a web form, which really helps for those firms that want to provide an authenticated web form that goes into their property management or trust accounting, sets up the job, and then Claire executes the job in auto maintenance for them from there. Workflow version 4 with a further 50 skills, which include glazier, pool maintenance, cleaner, gardener, painter, and she understands all of the different things that you want to do within those supplier codes or supplier activities and skills. Onboarding version 3 in order to support all these extra things that were happening and controlling the way in which they happen, so you can control what Claire does. Brings back that in parallel and in series control where you have self-determination for the AI doing the work for you. You know how and when and what she's going to do. Branding of the communications with agency details was launched also. So that meant that any communications going out to tenants or trades was branded as your brand. So it really held that together for you as an organisation in your service offering. Rental arrears version 3 with tasks at the end of Claire chasing account details added to the SMS. Which means that, you know, if we get to the last date, which might be day 9, day 10, that we've been chasing it off a tenant, and we then escalate it via a task within your trust accounting. Email AI version 1 was released. Now, this is fantastic. It monitors the email address of the property manager on your approval, and then we queue up responses automatically and understand what's going on. It understands the sentiment of the email. It tracks the sentiment, gives you an alert on the sentiment in the inbox. And enables for about half of your time spent on email to be wiped out. And it automatically puts it into a job or a task. It executes those workflows that I spoke about that already exist on SNS and on Google Home, Google Assistant, now exists within the email platform. Working with over 30 clients and 20,000 managements from 50 properties to 300. That was a massive milestone for us and really fantastic. We had over 4,000 individual communications to tenants. And that's that monthly churn of communications that we see in the follow-up and the confirmation of what Claire's doing. And we won 2 technology awards for REB, Innovator of the Year Award, and for REI NSW Innovation Award as well, in collaboration with our pilot partner, Renhorn Terrigal. So it's been a fantastic 120 days. I'd like to thank my team who helped train Claire, support Claire, and make her the best virtual assistant for property management teams in Australia and potentially a unique offering in the world. I think that she has done some fantastic work. I'd like to thank our developers and data scientists in the work that they've done. And lastly, I think most importantly, thank you to our clients and the leaders, the thought leaders, the brave ones who have taken on this new concept and really run with it and got the benefit out of it straight away. That support is amazing, and accepting Claire onto your team to do the work, the transactional work, the painful work, to relieve those pain points that you no longer should be dealing with, so that you can have better customer relationships and differentiate within the marketplace, making yourself stand out. Thank you to those clients for letting us be a part of that journey. That's my update for the last 120 days. Thanks for listening.